Imagine standing on a cold Roman battlefield, shield in one hand, sword in the other. The sky is gray, the enemy is approaching, and no one knows if the dawn will bring victory or defeat. Your legs are unsteady with exhaustion, and your heart thuds against your ribs in time with the distant drums of war. In that moment, what gives you the strength to hold your ground, to do what is right, not just for yourself, but for your comrades and for Rome itself? For the Stoic philosophers of ancient Greece and Rome, this answer was clear. True courage, or as they called it, andreia, was not just about fighting on the front lines. It was about much more than physical bravery. For the Stoics, courage was a cardinal virtue, one of the four essential qualities for living a good and meaningful life: wisdom, justice, temperance, and of course courage. But what did they mean by courage, exactly? It's easy to imagine a hero charging into battle or standing on a podium, defying the mob. But Stoic courage goes further. It's the quiet resilience to endure pain, hardship, even humiliation, if one is convinced it is the right thing to do. Stoic courage isn't about seeking danger or welcoming suffering. It's the ability to face what must be faced, to pursue the good even when it comes at great personal cost. Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." These words weren't simply poetic, they were practical. Seneca lived during the reign of Emperor Nero, a time when a single rumor could end your life. He saw friends accused of treason forced to open their veins in silence. Seneca himself was commanded to end his own life, a fate he met with calm acceptance, carrying out the act not with bitterness, but with dignity and composure. For Seneca, the greatest form of courage was not to fight against destiny, but to meet it head-on, to submit one's actions and character to reason rather than to fear. Epictetus, who began life as a slave, put it even more starkly: "Never say you have lost anything, only that you have returned it." To lose possessions, status, or even freedom was not a true loss, he argued, if you maintained your character, your inner strength, and your willingness to do what is right. Courage for Epictetus was as much about facing the inner storms, anger, jealousy, grief, as the outer world. In his discourses, he describes courage as a fortress within oneself, stronger than any wall of stone. In the Stoic worldview, courage and the other cardinal virtues are not optional qualities for a hero. They are necessary for anyone striving to live well. Wisdom shows us what the good is. Justice motivates us to act for the good of others. Temperance keeps our desires and impulses in check. But courage is what enables us to act, even when it is frightening, dangerous, or unpopular. Without courage, the other virtues remain ideas, admired but untested. It's easy to see how this applies on a battlefield or in a political struggle. But what about in everyday life? Picture a person facing a serious illness, or someone deciding to stand up for a colleague being mistreated at work, knowing it might risk their own position. These are acts of Stoic courage. Take the story of Cato the Younger, famous among the Stoics. At the fall of the Roman Republic, when Julius Caesar seized power and civil war raged, Cato refused to compromise his principles. He spoke out against tyranny, he kept faith with his republican ideals, and when all was lost, he accepted his defeat and even his own death, rather than bend the knee. To the Stoics, Cato was a true model of courage, not because he was unafraid, but because he acted despite his fear for the sake of justice and integrity. But does courage mean never feeling fear or doubt? The Stoics would answer with a firm no. Courage is not the absence of fear, but its mastery. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and dedicated Stoic, wrote in his private notes, "If it is endurable, then endure it. If not, stop complaining. Your own mind makes it bearable or unbearable." For Marcus, courage meant controlling one's perception and judgment, refusing to be conquered by adversity. Ultimately, for the Stoics, courage is the backbone of virtue. It is the strength to act rightly, whatever the cost. It is what allows us to stand firm, to speak truth, endure hardship, and keep faith with ourselves and others. Courage is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's as quiet as a breath before speaking out, as steady as holding to one's values in the face of ridicule, or as resilient as living each day with dignity and resolve. So the next time you encounter a difficult choice, a painful loss, or a moment when fear urges you to compromise, remember, Stoic courage is not only for ancient heroes on distant battlefields. It's for anyone, here and now, who strives to live not just well, but bravely.
Stillness awaits. Subscribe.